I thought, like, I don't really like this. And I was like, oh, it's pretty good. It wasn't this Christmas. It was last Christmas. Now that I'm remembering. So your take on it is not, you don't like pureed soups.
Yeah, but I'm mostly neutral on all soups. They're fine.
Broccoli and, well, this is going to be a lot of fun. Broccoli and cheese.
Well, I think you're opinionated enough for the both of us on this. Look, I'm just being honest, Tom.
Broccoli and cheese soup.
Yeah, hell yeah. That shouldn't be allowed to be called a soup.
Well, that brings me to my next one, cheese soup.
All right.
Have you ever had cheese soup? Campbell's makes a cheese soup.
I've used it for
like a dip or
for
something,
a mac
right?
and cheese.
Ooh, tell me more about that.
It's one of the you get this. It's a can of cheese soup.
All right.
But it's like gelatinous. It's like it comes out of the can like
because it's condensed. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you put that. I shredded a lot of different cheeses, and I think I put it in the slow cooker. Maybe
no noodles.
Nope.
Wow.
Yeah, macless mac and cheese.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, it's gluten free that way.
I remember as a kid, because I think it's only supposed to be used as like an ingredient for things. I don't think it's supposed to really be eaten as its own soup.
Yeah, that would
Or
be...
you're supposed to like put broccoli in it. You're supposed to put things in it. And it's like, oh, this is like a base of cheese soup. But I remember as a kid always like demanding cheese soup.
And it's cheese, and cheese is delicious, and you were a shitty kid.
Yeah. I would eat either cheese soup or macaroni and cheese with hot dogs chopped up in it.
Ugh.
Well, come on.
Tom,
Mm-hmm.
I cannot eat a hot dog without a bun.
What? Why not?
Because it's gross. I need something to in between to serve as a barrier.
I mean, I don't disagree that the bun adds some much needed change in texture. You've got the competing
I've always
textures.
been grossed out by a bite of a hot dog that is not either covered in a condiment or the bun.
So you'll eat a bunless hot dog with condiments on it, which just seems like a mess.
Yeah, like the end, like when a hot dog is a little longer than the bun.
Mm-hmm. So that's what you're talking about? That if a hot dog's a little bit bigger than the bun, you'll still eat that part?
Yeah,
the part
there's
that overhangs?
ketchup or mustard on it. Otherwise, it's kind of a gross bite for me.
Will you ever throw that part out when nobody's looking?
I don't think so, no. Normally, you can mash it into the bun enough.
You don't need to mash it in. Just bite it. It's fine.
I just don't like it. It's fine that I don't like the way something tastes.
I like when a hot dog's overhanging the bun.
Great.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Jesus Christ. Tom, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Would you take out of a McDonald's Quarter Pounder without cheese, would you take out that patty?
Uh-huh. And
scrape off all the condiments.
Okay. I mean, you could probably not put the condiments on in the first place.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if we went and got it, would you would you be able to eat that?
I would rather not.
Yeah, isn't that crazy though? Like that's how I feel about a hot dog.
But I would pay any price for a Quarter Pounder right now.
Yeah, sure. And I love a hot dog in a bun.
In the proper context.
Exactly.
But but you got it with the mac and cheese. You got all that stuff. I feel like that helps.
Yeah, that probably does help.
Yeah. Tim, you know what? You come over this week and I'll make you some mac and cheese with little hot dogs in it.
Thanks.
The next soup, Tim, I take it back. This is my favorite soup. I said a bisque was my favorite soup. Maybe a bisque still is my favorite soup now that I think about it. Because I'm imagining if I've seen... All right, let me lay it out.
Just say the name of the goddamn soup,
no,
you
Tim,
idiot.
I'm building tension. Everybody's on the edge of their seat wanting to know what soup this is. If I walk into a place and they're like, we got two soups today, and one of them's seafood bisque, and one of them's this other soup, I'm going to get the seafood bisque. But if I'm going there every day, I'm going to get sick of seafood bisque. This other soup, I'm not going to get sick of as quickly. And the name of that soup is coming right after the break. Tim, before the break, I mentioned my favorite soup, and I know people are on the edge of their seats wanting to know what it is.
I hate this episode so much, Tom. I hate it. I hate it, and I hate you, and I don't want to do this show anymore.
Now, we've already talked about butternut squash soup. No, my favorite soup? French onion soup.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
French onion soup.
That's up there.
The best soup.
You know what?
Such a good soup.
I feel like you can't call it your favorite soup.
Why?
Because it's too much. Like, it's too much of a. There's no other soup like it. Because, like, it's just a bunch of onions in broth and then, like, cheese melted on top of it with bread.
Yeah.
Right? So it's kind of like, yeah, of course that's going to be the best thing.
No, but
like,
I'll tell you what.
It's barely actually a soup.
But I'll tell you what, Tim. Don't get me wrong, I love cheese and I love bread. But I'll eat a cheeseless, breadless onion soup. No problem. And love it.
Really?
Tim, onions are one of my favorite food. And it's like there are very few onion-based dishes out there. You got the bloomin' onion, and you got French onion soup.
Oh, you know what? We are in agreement years ago on our Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah.
Those little onions in the cream sauce.
Creamed onions.
Creamed onions.
Yeah.
My favorite of the
And
offerings.
we were also in agreement when we were talking about pizza that onions should become one of the more standard toppings that is available.
Couple of onion men here.
Couple of onion men.
Maybe if I really do get upset, if we have another episode like this where I don't ever want to do it again, you should extend the
onion branch?
The onion of peace.
Yeah.
We'll do an onion episode.
Well, maybe if I've got the onions to do it.
Is that a phrase?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, check out the onions on this guy.
I like French onion soup.
French onion soup's a great soup. I like the texture of the onions in it.
Is the soup French or is the onion French?
That's a real good question.
I've never seen a French onion.
Ooh la la. I'm going to assume that it's the soup that is French.
Yeah.
Because the French came up with soup.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
Okay. See, this is this might.
I actually have a few interesting facts here about soup.
Do you want to keep going through the list of soups?
All right, then we'll get to the interesting facts about soups.
Okay.
Chicken tortilla soup.
I don't. Yeah.
It's misleading because there's tortilla in it, but not that much. Like you're kind of like I'm always thinking like chicken tortilla soup because it's usually like a Mexican soup. I'm thinking like a burrito bowl, great. Too much, too wet.
A soup too wet?
Soup too wet.
I've never. The day will never come that a soup can
chicken
be too
tortilla
wet.
soup always sounds really good to me, but it's really
you
chicken.
eat a lot of soups that I've never had,
and that's why I don't like them. But it's really chicken noodle soup, just with like a little bit of tortilla in there.
Tom, what?
And
I
tortilla doesn't
understand
adapt well to water.
Is that there's no standard for any of these soups?
Yeah, and that's what makes it so disgusting. The whole industry. What about chicken noodle soup?
I think it's fine. It's classic.
Yeah.
Stand by.
You eat it when you're sick, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that and ginger ale kind of like I can't drink ginger ale, and I
Right,
love
because it
ginger.
reminds you of
It reminds
being
me
sick.
of having a stomach bug when I was 7 years old, and then I just think of puke.
Yeah.
And I have to puke. If you ever see me take a sip of ginger ale, get out the poncho. It's like the front row at a Gallagher show.
When I was one of the earliest memories that I have is throwing up in my parents' bed. Like coming into their bedroom, being like 3 years old, like I don't feel so good, and then just puking all over their bed, and the puke was 100% Kool-Aid and whole pepperonis. I distinctly remember this.
How did you get the whole?
I don't know.
Did you roll them up and like inhale them?
No, I think I had like pepperoni pizza, and I took all the pepperonis off and ate them separately, but didn't chew them.
How did you swallow them without chewing them?
I don't know, and I don't know if somebody like should have been watching me to make sure I wasn't doing anything weird.
Sounds like it.
But yeah, I can still see just these like the comforter of my parents' bed, just like covered in red Kool-Aid and whole pepperonis. So that's why one of the reasons why I can't eat Kool-Aid and pepperoni soup anymore. But what about split pea soup?
I might not have ever had it.
I don't think I've ever had it either. That seems like something they just always make jokes about in cartoons.
And because of The Exorcist, because they use that for the puke.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it looks like puke.
Yeah.
All right. And then I've got two more general soupish things.
I had a lot to talk about soups, and we didn't get to it because you have these dangerous ideas.
Stop calling my ideas dangerous every week.
It's feel like you called, like this was a real bait and switch. You're like, hey, we're going to talk about soups. And then you took the stage and just ripped the shit out of soups. Like you had some weird agenda. And now you're coming around. You're like, actually, these soups are good.
Stews. What do you think about stews, Tim?
I never really understood the difference between a stew and a soup.
So a lot of people think that there really isn't that much difference, but the consensus seems to be that a stew is not as wet as a soup. Less water, less liquid in general.
I'm on board.
That's why you get like when you hear about a beefy stew. Yeah.
It's just soggy meat.
Soggy meat. Give me that wet meat.
Give me that wet meat, baby.
And now another, and I'd be surprised if you've had this, Tim, because you seem like a simple man. What about a cold soup?
Like a gazpacho?
Like a gazpacho.
Yeah, I've had it.
And?
Not really that into it. Because they tend to be on the like pureed
right.
side, right? Like, and I'm just not a big fan.
I had, I want to say it was watermelon soup, and it was out of this world. But I was like, this is just a smoothie, guys. Give me a lot more of this in a straw.
Yeah.
Also,
stop cheaping out on watermelon. Stop serving this in a shot glass at a wedding.
No. It was still in a soup bowl. But it was pureed. I think it had other stuff in it to make, thicken it up a little bit. It was delicious. What do you think about, God, we're going to have to do a double-size episode. What do you think about Campbell's soup to go, Tim? The soup you can drink.
I didn't even know about it.
You didn't know about this?
Stop
Tim, it's been around forever.
Jesus Christ.
It's soup you can drink. It's in like a cup that
Tom,
you can hold. What?
First of all, stop yelling at me for not knowing about like gimmicky.
Well, I just don't know how you can sit there and defend soup when you know so little about it.
Oh, God.
You don't know about Campbell's soup to go?
Tell me about Campbell's soup to go.
Tim, you've seen commercials for Campbell's soup to go?
I haven't. I don't watch the freaking
the soup channel
superhero TV shows that you watch.
Tim, are you under the impression that it's superhero shows? And that they've just got a lot of soup-based advertising on these things? It's basically, you know what? Hats off to the folks at Campbell for having the balls to be like, look, everybody, the life would be a lot easier if it was socially acceptable to just drink soup. Putting a spoon in soup, that's just, pageantry. Just drink soup. So it's basically just like a cup and you microwave it, and then it's got like a hole, and you drink it like a coffee.
Okay. So it's like broth?
It's like all kinds of soups.
Do you like it?
I do, but I don't get it that often. I think it's very salty.
Yeah.
It's another big soup problem.
Too much sodium, not if you make it yourself.
Yeah, but then it won't taste good because it doesn't have salt in it.
You can put salt. You can put a lot of salt in something before you approach the level of salt that's in a can of soup.
I still don't completely understand, A, why salt's bad, and B, why we even need salt in the first place.
Okay.
Okay.
I would try to have a discussion about that, but I think you'll yell at me for 15 minutes.
Also, cans are weird, right?
Yeah, cans are weird.
What? Come on.
I mean,
you put something in a can and then it's fine?
Yeah, it's fresh. It's airtight.
How do we know? We've never seen inside a can. We don't even have the technology.
You can put a camera inside a can.
You can't put a camera in a can? Maybe a wireless camera.
Yeah.
But what
they
about...
put cameras up butts, Tom.
What?
You could put a cell
A
phone
phone
in
in my butt? Oh.
in a can.